What is up, you gorgeous, fabulous creatures, and welcome to another episode of the Losing It podcast. This is the place where we stop emotional eating and learn how to lose weight without losing our minds. So if you are tired of the all or nothing mentality, I promise you, honey, you are in the right place. So grab some healthy snacks and settle down, because today we are talking about the reason why you can't seem to keep your promises to yourself when it comes to, I'm totally going to get my shit together with food. I am not going to be emotional eating anymore. I'm not going to be binge eating at night. And then you break your word every single time. There's a simple reason why this keeps happening. The solution, maybe not so much, but I'm definitely going to steer you in the right direction today. But the reason why this keeps happening is because you think that there's a magical version of you and she's going to show up tomorrow. You can see her just over there on the horizon. It's actually called horizon thinking, where you believe, we really do believe errantly, that there is a better version of us and she's just over there on the horizon and she's going to show up for me tomorrow. Today, me can't handle these problems and I just need to eat. I need to stuff my face with chips, chocolate, cake, cookies, and ice cream. But tomorrow, me, she will totally have her shit together and she'll be strong and she'll be in her power and she'll be able to say no to food and she's going to show up tomorrow. And so you make today's problems something that tomorrow you has to deal with. But honey, this major thing you've got to remember is there is no better version of you showing up tomorrow unless you start making better choices today. Another way I could say this to you is you are never ever going to rise to meet your goals. You will always fall to the strength of your system. And this is why I'm so passionate about the 5 eating codes. I give them away for free in my free video bundle. You can get that. Just hit the link in the show notes. And we go through them in depth inside of the Bombshell Blueprint membership, because they are the 5 codes that are going to save your ass every time this sort of talk comes into your mind over and over again. I promise you, you are never going to rise to meet your goals. You will always fall to the strength of your systems. And that's why having a blueprint that you can follow in these situations is so darn important. Now, if you're like me and you have always dealt with full-on emotional eating, let's just say it that way, full-on emotional eating, I would sometimes binge throughout the day, but mainly it would be at night. I was always a sucker for a nighttime overeating. That was my witching hour. And so the first thing that you've really got to do, if you're finding yourself stuck in a place where I just can't deal with it, the kids have been too much today, or my job and the kids are too much today, and then you add my partner with the job and the kids, and now it's all way too much, I just need to eat. Step 1 is really getting very clear on who you want to be. Because if you were super happy being this version of you, this wouldn't be a problem. But there's a part of you that's like, this is bullshit, and I know I have the potential for more. I just don't seem to have the emotional wherewithal to be able to reach it. But let's just start putting down who you think she is, at least on paper, or make a fucking Pinterest board. Do whatever the fuck you have to do. But let's start getting clear on who this ideal version is. Because when I talk about horizon thinking and that we errantly think that there's this amazing version of us that's going to show up tomorrow, let me put it to you this way. There is an incredible version of you and she can show up, but she can't do it until you get really laser focused and clear on exactly who she is, what she does, how she lives, how she makes her decisions, what kind of decisions does she make, how does she stand in her power when emotional eating just wants to overtake her. Decide what it is that you want, figure out what version of you has this life, and then do the things that she would be doing. Now, this is eating code number 5. All the way inside out, it's eating code number 5 all day long, which is act like the person you want to become. If the ideal version of you is not stuffing her face with ice cream every night, then why are you still doing it now, waiting to feel motivated so that you can change? Motivation comes after the action. It doesn't precede action. If you're sitting around waiting to feel motivated, you're going to be sitting here and we'll still be chit-chatting this time next year. You have got to ask yourself questions. Start giving yourself a pause and ask, does this choice that I'm about to make align with who I want to be? It's not to say that it's going to stop you in your tracks every time and you'll happily put the ice cream down and be like, okay, that's great. Don't need it anymore. That might not happen. You might still decide to eat the ice cream, but eventually this questioning process will get into your brain and you'll be like, okay, hold the fuck on a minute. Do I really want to eat this ice cream? And if I do eat the ice cream, do I want all of the ice cream? What am I going to feel good about tomorrow? So another questioning process that I often use for myself when I really want to keep eating at night is to ask myself, how am I going to feel about this tomorrow? Now, this again will not work every time, but it works for me 99.9% of the time because I have started caring more about how I want to feel tomorrow and the type of life I want to live tomorrow and the clothes that I want to wear and how comfortable I want to feel in my body and the things that I want to achieve tomorrow than I do about a quick 5-minute date with the ice cream slut. Nobody wants to be hooking up with the ice cream slut every night. You don't feel good. You don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel good in your body. The whole thing is a lose-lose situation. So if you, like me, were hooking up with the ice cream slut every single night, it is time for you to zoom out. Here's what I mean by that. You know how on your phone you can zoom in and you can zoom out? If you are finding yourself all up in your head, completely overwhelmed, I just need to eat, it's the only way I can relax, there's nothing more that I can do, this is how it's going to roll out. What you have done is you have zoomed in on your life. You have zoomed in like hyper zoomed in. You have zoomed in all the way that you're just looking at a fucking pixel right now. And if you were looking at a picture of any kind of version of your life and you zoom all the way into one particular pixel, sure, it could look scary. It will look huge. It can look overwhelming. But you've zoomed into a fucking pixel and you are the strongest, most incredible, most dynamic, magnetic woman that you know. Don't tell me that you do not have dominion and control over a fucking pixel because I know that you do. It is time in those situations for you to zoom right back out again. There will be little pixels in our life that pop up. Loss of a job, loss of a loved one, an illness, a sickness, times when finances might be difficult, times when there'll be an abundance of finances. There's all kinds of different pixels that pop up in our life. But when you zoom in on any one of them and get hyper fixated, they can all look crazy, big and overwhelming. Of course it fucking does. But release your fingers from the screen of your life and let the image zoom back out. Is this shitty job or the boss that's giving me a hard time or the fight that I just had with my partner, is that so huge in your life that you have to try and eat the problem away? I promise you that there is not a pixel in the whole story of your life that is worth you giving up your hopes, your dreams, and the ability that you have to achieve them for just one quick hookup with the ice cream slut. You are worth so much more than that. And honey, if you are sitting around and waiting for your brain to suddenly get on board and be your biggest cheerleader and come on, you can do it, girl, let's go, let's be amazing. She's never going to do that. Never. She's like the pimp of the ice cream slut. She's pimping out all these foods to you. That's what your brain's doing. So don't sit around waiting for her to get on board. She's got her list and she's pimping all these foods out to you. Your habits brain job is not ever to rationalize. Your habit brain's job is to remember what you did previously and then repeat that action. Doesn't care if it's right or wrong or if it's great or a terrible, shitty decision. It only cares if it's familiar, because familiar means less energy that it has to expend and it means that you are safe and comfortable. So again, you are going to have to be the one to step in, babe. Nobody else can do it for you. You can listen to my podcast all day long. You can share it with every friend that you've got, and it's great. We should be doing these things because we need to spread the word. And also, you are the one that has to step up and take responsibility because you're the only one that can change this. Get out of hooking up your hookups, your nightly hookups with the ice cream slut. Tell the pimp in your brain that you are no longer going to be on speed dial and we are not carrying out these choices anymore. This is your time and you are ready and able to take the next step. So if you know that this is you, then I would highly recommend you come on over, join us inside of the Bombshell Blueprint, hit the link in the show notes, and you can have me all up in your grill all day, every day, making sure that you get every one of the 5 eating codes down pat and we get your particular blueprint set up for you so that all you have to do is follow the bouncing ball, because I never, ever again want to find you trying and scratching and clawing, knowing that you don't have a rock solid system behind you. My darlings, I am sending you tremendous amounts of love as always. I cannot wait to see you again in the next episode. Until then, gorgeous ones, have an incredible week and bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to shimmy your butt over to kyliepax.com and join me inside of the Bombshell Blueprint so you can stop emotional eating and start losing your weight now. You'll also find helpful notes and resources inside my past podcasts that will help you lose your weight without losing your sanity. I will see you next week.